If you're starting a YouTube channel in 2025, choosing the right tools can literally save you hours every week. I've tested a bunch of platforms to see what actually helps, and today I'm breaking down the exact tools that I use to plan, script, edit, optimize, and create titles and thumbnails. And make sure to stick around to the end because I'm going to share my #1 must-have tool, the one that's made the biggest difference for my own channel. So the first step is planning. I do everything inside Notion. I have a database where I dump every video idea, even if it's just a rough concept. Each idea has its own page where I outline key points, research, and notes. I then put it into the planning phase. Once I have a rough idea of my title, I move on to thumbnail, then script, filming, editing, and finally upload. I try to add a due date to each one so I have a rough idea of when I want to complete the video, but I give myself flexibility to change this if needed. So Notion helps keep me organized so I'm never scrambling for my next video idea. Once I have my video idea, I need to make sure people can actually find it on YouTube. That's where tools like vidIQ and TubeBuddy come in. Before finalizing my video's title, I'll check vidIQ's keyword score. This is a great tool to tell me if a topic has good search volume and a low competition score, meaning that not that many people are putting out videos that address that specific topic. I can also use TubeBuddy's A/B testing feature to experiment with different titles and see which ones may get the most clicks. Now, both of these tools have both free and paid versions. I'll put the prices and key features that come with each. As you can see here with the premium version of vidIQ, you get a lot more features, but it does come at a cost. These are TubeBuddy's features that you get with a premium model, and you're going to pay for these features as well. So if you're just getting started, these tools are actually great for helping you kind of work with the YouTube algorithm instead of against it or just flying blind. So for scripting, I'm not just sitting down and writing out every word by myself. I come up with the idea that I want to talk about, and then I work with ChatGPT to put together a framework for how I can use my knowledge about that specific topic. So this video, for instance, is a great example. I spent many hours using all of these platforms that we're going to talk about today, but I want to make sure that it's put together in a way that's digestible to the audience. So I can prompt ChatGPT to put together a framework that will help me keep the audience engaged, but also allow me to get all of the points across that I want. It's also great for just taking a simple idea to the next level. So if I'm stuck on an intro idea, for example, I can ask ChatGPT for 5 options that I can choose from. Then I'll take those ideas and make them my own, put them in my own tone, and that helps me push through that process much faster. And as I said, it can also be great for developing a script. So I give it all of the main points that I want to cover, and then using the structure that is provided, it can create a logical flow for a script. And then finally, I will sometimes write the majority of my script and then put it into ChatGPT and say, hey, how can I make this more compelling? How can I polish this more? Are there parts that may not be super relevant or can be shortened? YouTube is all about attention, so you need to remove the fluff wherever possible. So I don't remember who put me onto this, but in my research about starting a YouTube channel, someone mentioned the platform Gling. So Gling is a free platform where you can upload your footage, and it cuts out all of the dead space and filler words using AI. And let me tell you, this saves me so much time. You can select how aggressive you want those cuts to be. You can select specific filler words that you want to remove, and it just speeds up that initial edit for me exponentially. Once I have a bit more of a polished version of my footage, I'll move on to a couple different platforms, and those are CapCut and iMovie. So this is where being a new YouTuber can be difficult. I use CapCut for specific features that I enjoy on their platforms, such as the ease of creating overlays, the simple ability to create text transitions, among many others. But I still use iMovie for a lot of the final tweaks, color grading, and things like audio balancing. The best part about both of these tools is they have free versions. If you have a Mac, iMovie is completely free, and it's actually the little brother or sister to Final Cut Pro, which is a much more advanced editing software. So if you're a new YouTuber like me that doesn't have a lot of editing experience, I would highly recommend trying out these platforms first before fully diving in and spending a ton of time trying to learn softwares like Final Cut Pro, Premiere Pro, or DaVinci Resolve. Now, I will say this, DaVinci Resolve has a free version that I've actually heard is fairly simple, but these 3 I mentioned here today are about as beginner-friendly as you could imagine. So equally as important as a good title is a good thumbnail. In my mind, it actually is probably even more important. The reason is we're a visual society, and people are looking at their YouTube suggestions for inspiration on what to watch next. And if you're a new YouTuber like me, you don't have a massive audience that watches all of your videos, so you need good thumbnails that will capture attention. Like many other content creators, both new and experienced, I use Canva for creating thumbnails. I use it to test different layouts, fonts, and contrast to make sure that my thumbnail stands out. I have a file of a bunch of different ideas that I'll create, duplicate, tweak, and so on. before even thinking about moving to the next step. Now, I will say that Canva has a lot of YouTube thumbnail templates, but I would not really recommend just using those templates. You can grab some elements that you like and use them in your own creation, because you're probably going to see more success by standing out and being unique versus using a template that a lot of other people have already used and will continue to use. Now, in my last video about being a new YouTuber, I did dive in a little bit more into thumbnail creation and some of the things that I implement along the way. I'll link that video here with the timestamp if you're interested in learning more, but I want to talk about B-roll next. Now, a lot of full-time content creators and people that have done this for a while are really great at filming their own B-roll clips. But for me, I just don't feel like I have enough time to do that right now. So I use a platform that will help me search and find high-quality professional B-roll clips. The platform that I use is Envato. So I played around with a few of these different platforms when I first started. I've heard a lot about Storyblocks and a couple of others, but Envato to me had the best features and the easiest searchability. It's where I get my music and my sound effects, but it does come at a cost. So if you're someone who is looking to keep costs as low as possible, filming your own B-roll may be your best bet. That said, if you're willing to spend a few bucks, it's a great way to keep your videos visually engaging without adding tons of extra filming time. So if I had to pick just one of these tools that's probably the biggest bang for your buck time saver, it would be Gling. The reason being, while they do have an app, you don't have to download anything. You can use their website, upload your video clips. It will combine all of your video clips. And as I mentioned, it'll cut out all of the pauses and filler words. They also have other features like noise removal, AI generated captions, auto framing that zooms in and out, title and chapter generators, and more. What I will say is their B-roll feature is not great in my opinion. I've tried it out. It threw a lot of random clips that didn't have anything to do with what I was saying. So I would still stick to an alternative platform or filming your own when it comes to B-roll. If this video helped you, hit like and subscribe. I'm on my journey to my first 1,000 subscribers and would appreciate the support. And also do me a favor, let me know in the comments, are there any tools that you're a fan of that I'm not currently trying? If I see a few that are mentioned more than once, I'll give them a try. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next video.